Tonight, when the sun goes down, you are going to do something your ancient ancestors never did. You are going to turn on a light, and in that one small act, you will erase 2 million years of human experience. The night used to be different, not just darker. Different in ways that shaped your body, your mind, and your instincts at a level so deep you still carry the traces of it right now. So what did ancient humans actually do at night? The answer is stranger than you think. And it rewrites almost everything you have been told about sleep, about rest, and about what it means to be human after dark. Start with the thing everyone assumes. Ancient humans slept when the sun went down and woke when it rose. 8 hours, horizontal, alone or with a partner in a bed of some kind, silent, still. That image is almost entirely wrong. Anthropologist Jerome Siegel at UCLA spent years studying 3 modern hunter-gatherer communities who have had little exposure to artificial light. The Hadza of Tanzania, the San of Namibia, the Tsimane of Bolivia. These groups live the way your ancestors lived, and what Siegel found dismantled everything the modern world assumes about sleep. They did not sleep 8 hours. They averaged between 6 and 7.5 hours. They did not go to sleep at sunset. They stayed awake for 3 to 4 hours after dark. They did not wake at sunrise. They woke slightly before it. And crucially, their sleep was not one long, unbroken block. It was in pieces, and it was communal, and it was alive with fire. Fire is the center of everything. When your ancestors made camp as night fell, they gathered around flames. And that fire was not a convenience. It was a technology that changed the trajectory of the entire species. Paleoanthropologist Richard Wrangham at Harvard has argued for decades that fire did not just cook food. It restructured the human day. Before fire, your ancestors were like every other primate. When darkness came, they climbed into trees, tucked into branches, and stayed as still as possible until morning. They were hiding. They were prey. Fire changed that calculus entirely. Predators fear flame. A fire burning through the night meant that the ground was safe. And when the ground is safe, you do not need to be in a tree. You can stay low. You can stay awake. You can gather. And gather they did. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner at the University of Utah discovered something remarkable when she analyzed recorded conversations among the Kalahari Bushmen across different times of day. Daytime talk was almost entirely practical. Task completion, dispute resolution, hunting logistics. But when the fire came and night fell, the conversation changed completely. It became story. 81% of nighttime firelight talk was narrative, myth, legend, accounts of distant places and people not present, abstract ideas. The night for your ancestors was not dead time. It was the time of the mind. The fire circle was the first classroom. It was the first theater. It was the first church. Every piece of cultural knowledge your species accumulated over hundreds of thousands of years, from which plants are toxic to which stars mark the season, from how to honor the dead to how to resolve a blood feud, was transmitted in the dark by firelight through story. Your deep need to be told a story at night is not nostalgia. It is ancient memory encoded into your neurology. The feeling of sitting around a fire, voices low, the world gone quiet outside the ring of light, your body recognizes that. Because it has been doing it for an incomprehensible stretch of time. Now consider what your body was doing during those hours between dark and sleep. It was not doing nothing. Your melatonin does not spike the moment the sun sets. It rises gradually over an hour or more as light fades. In the firelight world, that gradient was preserved. The warm orange frequencies of fire do not trigger the suppression of melatonin the way blue spectrum artificial light does. Your ancestors could sit by a fire for hours, and their body's chemistry still moved smoothly toward sleep. When they eventually lay down, they did not necessarily stay down. There is historical and biological evidence for something called segmented sleep. Historian Roger Eckerch at Virginia Tech spent nearly 2 decades combing through pre-industrial literature, court records, diaries, and medical texts, and found hundreds of references to what people called the first sleep and the second sleep. The pattern was consistent. A person would fall asleep for several hours, wake in the middle of the night for an hour or so of quiet wakefulness, then fall asleep again until morning. That middle interval was not insomnia. It was something else. It was a period of unusual lucidity. People prayed in it, had sex in it, spoke quietly to sleeping partners, thought through problems, some wrote, some got up and visited neighbors. The medieval world built an entire culture of the midnight hour, treating it as a liminal space between one day and the next. Sleep researchers have found that when modern humans are removed from artificial light for weeks, they spontaneously revert to this pattern. Your body left to itself does not want one long unconscious block. It wants two with a soft awakening in between. The panic you feel when you wake at 3 in the morning may not be a symptom of a disorder. It may be your deepest biological nature surfacing through the concrete of the modern world. And during those sleeping hours, ancient humans were not completely alone with the darkness. They slept in close physical contact. Body heat was survival. The image of solitary sleep, each person in their own room, their own bed, is extraordinarily recent. For most of human history, everyone slept together. Children between parents, grandparents near grandchildren. The warmth of the group was the warmth of survival. Jerome Siegel's hunter-gatherer data also showed something that challenges modern assumptions about vulnerability. Ancient humans almost never all slept at the same time. Because individuals within a group had slightly different chronotypes, some naturally lighter sleepers, some heavier, the result was that in any given community, at any given hour of the night, someone was awake. Not deliberately, just biologically. The variation in sleep timing that makes your partner furious when they want lights out at 10, and you are still reading at midnight, that variation may have been an evolved mechanism, a watch rotation that nobody planned. Your ancestors kept a guard they never organized, emerging from the very structure of human difference. Now think about the sky above them. No electric glow eating the horizon. No white wash of city light blotting the stars. The night sky above your ancestors was so dense with light that the Milky Way cast a shadow. The ancients did not go to sleep under a black ceiling. They went to sleep under a river of fire, a blazing arm of the galaxy that they could reach up and feel close to. They built myths for every feature of that sky. They navigated by it. They marked their seasons by the rising and setting of particular stars. The Pleiades told the Hadza when to expect rain. Orion told Greek farmers when to harvest. Your calendar is a legacy of ancient nights spent staring upward in the dark. And then the fire would burn lower. Voices would fade. One by one, the members of the group would slip into sleep. The night sounds would continue around them. Insects, distant movement, wind. They did not sleep in silence. They slept inside the living darkness, trusting the fire and each other. That trust is where you come from. Tonight, when the last light in your home clicks off and you lie alone in your sealed room in your silent building, some part of you is listening for the fire. Some part of you is waiting for the storyteller's voice. Some part of you is feeling the absence of the bodies that should be close. Some part of you is straining to hear the sounds of the group still breathing nearby. You evolved for the dark, but not for this dark. You evolved for the firelit dark, the social dark, the sky-dense dark, the two-sleep dark. The story dark. Tonight, when the sun goes down and you reach for the light switch, you will hold in your hand the thing that severed 2 million years of human night. And the body that reaches for it, wired for fire, for story, for segmented sleep, for the warmth of the group, is still, in every biological sense, an ancient creature standing at the edge of the dark, waiting for the flames to be lit.